What's up, everybody? Welcome back to. I'm already tripping over words. Around the Track with the Riders, NASCAR podcast featuring myself, SterlingRider, and of course our co-host Duke Ryder.
What's up, everybody? New season 2026.
That's right, quite a few things to cover for the preseason show. So welcome back. NASCAR kicks off February 1st for the Clash, I believe, if I am correct.
That's correct.
And I know
Then we
today.
get a week off for them to play the Super Bowl, and then we get the real Super Bowl, the Daytona 500.
That's right. I know today marks 24 days till the Daytona 500. Thanks, William Byron
Yep.
Hendrick Motorsports, for showing us that. Um, so, yeah,
Oh,
um,
you mean this many days?
that is correct. I sadly. Wait, I do. Hold on. It's in my computer case. Eh. Eh. I hope it shows right, but that many days, it's not showing it right. Good enough. You get the point. Anyways, yeah. So, what do
so,
we.
well, the first thing I think we need to start off with is during this off season, of course, we did have the court case between 2311 and Front Row Motorsports and NASCAR that we discussed on a podcast once that was finished. Since then, we have had some unfortunate incidences in the NASCAR community. Retired driver Michael Bennett has passed away. They have not released, as far as I know, why and what his cause of death was, but he was only 39 years old. He has one win in the Xfinity Series and didn't really make much of an impact in the Cup Series, but drove for Junior Motorsports. And then, of course, there's the tragedy of the fire at Denny Hamlin's parents' home,
Mm-hmm.
where his dad was tragically killed in that fire. Very gut wrenching for Denny Hamlin. I can imagine, his dad was already not doing too well. He wanted to win that championship for him. He came up 3 laps short, of the championship due to the ridiculousness of the playoff, which we'll talk more about here in a few minutes. And, his dad, losing his dad that way has to be really rough. His mom was injured, from my understanding. She is recovering,
Yep.
but it's going to be a long road to recovery for his mom. And then, of course, the tragedy of Greg Biffle and his family, and several others that died in the plane crash.
Yes.
That it's, I'll be quite honest with you. I was not much of a Greg Biffle fan when Greg came around. That was at the height of the coming into the Cup Series, and I'm a Dodge guy, so I had a couple drivers in the Chevy camp, had a couple drivers in the Ford camp, but most of my drivers were Dodge drivers. So Greg just kind of came in at the wrong time, really, for me to be a fan. But seeing what he did when that hurricane hit North Carolina, I mean, he flew Starlink um, internet satellites in so that people could contact their families and let them know they were okay. He rescued survivors. He carried supplies in, and just all the work that he did, and organized. I mean, he organized that whole um, operation himself. Really made me a fan of Greg Biffle, the person, which makes me a fan of Greg Biffle, the race car driver. So, huge loss for the NASCAR community. Greg Biffle, when you look at him, he is definitely a future Hall of Famer.
Mm.
It would be, I believe he'll probably get voted in next year. I don't think they've released who they're going to be voting on, because they do have the Hall of Fame ceremony tomorrow night, which is January 23rd. If which would probably be tonight when you get that up, when you get this uploaded. But losing Greg huge impact on the NASCAR community. All of these tragedies are. So I was very, very thankful to see that Roush Fenway, Keselowski Racing, is doing a tribute to Greg Biffle all year long. They're
Yes.
going to run the Greg Biffle stickers on their cars, and I'm not sure if if they're running the font, the number font for just Daytona, if they're going to run it all year long. That part of the news release that they sent out was kind of unclear. I would like to see them run it all year long, just to be honest with you. And then Colleague Racing is also running the 16 font
Yes.
for Daytona. So, I think we can't start this preseason show without discussing those tragedies and those losses that have impacted the NASCAR community as well as the fans.
No, absolutely. It's sad to see the Michael Annett. We knew him Xfinity mostly. How I knew him as a driver. That one actually threw me off guard. That was something I was not expecting at all. Um, well, I mean, none of these I was expecting, but that one just kind of came out of the blue. The tragic fire for Denny Hamlin's mom and dad. It's heartbreaking, especially knowing the condition his dad was in and how hard Denny had been fighting to get a championship while he was still around. Just heartbreaking for the whole Hamlin family. I feel for them heavily. Um, still lots of thoughts and prayers to them. I know Hamlin is probably going through a lot mentally from everything that's happened in the past couple months. Um, so um, and then Greg Biffle, that was also throwing off. Just getting on a plane with your family, ready to
He
go to the next spot, and
Yeah, and he had just retired around the time you became a fan, so you really didn't get to see a whole lot of Greg racing.
I did not. But the big rescue missions he did was that tells just a lot about your character and personality. So I like Biffle. I haven't seen any of his racing. Hopefully I will. I'm sure the NASCAR channel or something out there has a race or two of him in it at least to go watch. If not, they should
The
now.
NASCAR Classics website has quite a few of his races up if you want to go check those out.
I will definitely be checking those out.
The
But
races that he won for sure.
sad news, all in all. Sad losses for the NASCAR community, all in all. It's nice to see RFK doing the tribute from what it looks like just the 500. It'd be awesome if they did it all season long with the number style. But I do know the sticker, the Biffle sticker on the driver's side frame is going to be awesome. Love that as well. And then, of course, Colleague, the number 16 with Allmendinger running the exact font and number is awesome as well. I'm hoping Hamlin or 2311, whichever, does some sort of, remembrance of Dennis Hamlin. I feel like that will happen, knowing Denny and Joe Gibbs as well, and Michael Jordan. Somewhere there is going to be like, yes, let's do it. So I'm sure that'll happen. I don't know about Michael Annett. That one's kind of a junior motorsports call, I would say. So, but again, hopefully. But yeah, definitely some sad losses. And sorry to start with the sad news of the episode, but definitely needed to be expressed.
Yeah, for sure. Then we have some. I don't really know how you look at it. I'm disappointed in the news. I had to think my expectations were too high, but I'm going to give it a chance before I jump to conclusions, because this is not what it was when it was first introduced in 2004, and that is the new championship system. They're going back to the old 10 race chase. For the truck series, there's going to be 10 drivers. Let's see. I got it pulled up here. See here, 10 drivers, 7 races. In the truck series, in the Xfinity series, it's going to be 12 drivers, 9 races, and then in the Cup series, it's going to be 10 races, 16 drivers. So um, I do like the fact that um, they're giving the regular season champion a 25-point lead. I'm not sure I agree with that. I don't quite think that's big enough. I think it should be, this is just my personal opinion, it should be a minimum of 50 points, a maximum of 50% of the point lead that they had. So if they had, let's just say they had a 25-point lead, right? Okay, you still give them a 50-point lead. But let's say they had a 200-point lead, then they get a 100-point lead. As the regular season champion going into that playoff, or well, I don't even want to use that word playoff anymore, into the chase. I don't quite think a 25-point advantage is that great. It's 25 spots on the racetrack. They could lose that in the first race.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. But it's new-ish.
Yes. I'm glad the winning in playoffs is gone in one race championship.
Yes.
So glad the biggest win.
Winning you're in being gone's a big deal.
That is huge. I hated the winning you're in. I hate that. Most of the iRacing League stuff I do is the winning you're in. Thankfully now that's being discussed, not for this season with the league I'm in, but it will be for the next season. They didn't want to deal with a headache of trying to redo all the points and stuff, which is understandable. The winning and being gone is huge win for sure. So this isn't exactly what we wanted, but as hardcore fans, but it is a step in the right direction. It's not the full season championship we wanted, but it's still, I still don't think it's going to be the, especially since the winning you're in is out, is, some of these bubble-ish like championships like we got last season. So I think it's because
I will tell you. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just going to say this is going to reward a lot more of the consistency, which we've seen with a lot of our favorite drivers. Not to take
which
away
is one of the things we wanted.
Which is, yes, one of the things we wanted. So that's a big deal. And just personally saying, from from what I saw, having Dale Jr., Mark Martin, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and I believe there was one more driver along with O'Donnell, I believe, was all on the media panel that made this announcement. At least 4 out of the 6, I 100% back up. Junior, Elliott, Blaney, and Mark Martin, of course. I support their voices 100% because I know they voice a lot for the fans. Not necessarily Blaney and Elliott, just because they're more, they are active, so there's probably a limit to what they can say for us. But Mark Martin and Dale Jr., I know, voice us very highly. So having that consistency and a good panel to voice us, it's going to be good. I think we're in for a good season starting off.
For sure. And I will say this, Mark Martin, they had Mark Martin on the Teardown with Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Gluck, like right after this announcement was made. And Mark Martin said something that really caught my attention. He said, we can get to 36 easier from a 10 race chase than we could with the one race championship. So this is, it's kind of like, we're going back in reverse. So we're going back to the chase. Maybe we do that for 5 or 6 years. If it's not producing what they expect it to produce, then maybe we can go back to the 36 race championship. So uh, just listening to Mark Martin on the teardown and the things that he said, explaining why he was in support of this. Um, and then also listening to Dale Jr. on the Dale Jr. download where he talked about this and he gave his thoughts about it. Kind of changed my um, disappointment quite a bit. I was not as disappointed when I listened to what Mark Martin and Dale Jr. had to say about this decision. Um, what I like, of course, we talked about the win and you're in. It's gone. Um, you know, so what this also brings, and Mark Martin brought this up on the teardown too, is now we can celebrate a win for what it is.
Yep.
It's a win. Let's take Harrison Burton a couple years ago, winning at Daytona.
Yep.
The first thing they said when he got out of the car is, "Oh no, we made the playoffs." Okay, instead of "we won Daytona," it was "we made the playoffs."
Yeah.
Bubba Wallace last year when he won the Brickyard 400, he didn't get out of the car and say, "I won the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway." He got out of the car and said, "I'm locked in the playoffs." Josh Berry when he won Las Vegas last year, he didn't get out of the car. "I won my first NASCAR Cup race." He got out of the car. "I'm locked in the playoffs."
Yep.
Now we can go back to celebrating wins for wins. What SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, did last year, winning 5 straight road courses in the Cup Series, is an amazing accomplishment.
Yes.
But you know what they talked about was
Playoffs.
he's 25th in points. He doesn't belong in the playoffs.
Mm.
Okay. Now we can take that 5 wins in a row, and he can go out this year and make and break the record for the most amount of road courses won in a row, and we can celebrate that as for the greatness that it is in the NASCAR record books instead of having to talk about the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we got rid of win and you're in, but now we can actually celebrate those wins for what they are, and that is huge accomplishments in those drivers, in those teams' careers.
Absolutely. And that's going to be big. Me personally, if I had won the races, I would have said something about the races first. And then probably gotten in trouble for not saying I'm locked in to the playoffs first. Because in my opinion, I wouldn't have cared about being locked in. I just won one of the, Brickyard 400. That's a crown jewel. Or Daytona. That's just, it's Daytona. It's hard to win there. It's more now focused on the driver at the track instead of, we're here for a playoff race. Oh, you won. Good job. You're in. That's it. That's how it used to be. Now they can actually go and celebrate. They won at this track. They won at this track, especially some of the harder tracks. Darlington, Daytona, Talladega, Indy. There's a lot. I mean, every track is difficult. I can say that from just the simulator itself. But, it's going to be much more rewarding as a, fan with a favorite driver or just the driver themselves being able to win at this track, first time, multi-time, whichever, they can focus on the win and celebrate it instead of, yay, I'm in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm going to really enjoy, though, is not hearing about the playoffs.
Yes.
Because there's no more elimination races either. So now, your driver makes the chase. Now they've just got to put together 10 more solid weeks. because you're not going to make the playoffs on a crazy one-off win.
Yep.
You're going to have to put together an entire season of consistency to make the playoffs. Um, and the teams that are going to do that are going to be able to do that 10 race stretch.
Right.
And I mean, we did have some really good battles in the old chase between we had Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson and Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski. We had Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart. We had several really cool uh, things, and I think what killed that was Jimmy Johnson winning 5 in a row. I think that had Jimmy Johnson not went out there and won 5 in a row, I don't think we ever would have changed from the original chase.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but him going out there winning 5 in a row, everybody's like, "Oh, we can't. This is terrible." And they did something about it. He won 6 of his 7 championships with the chase format. So, but we did have some really good battles in there. It wasn't a whole lot of runaways in that uh, championship. So it was the same thing in 2004 when they first introduced it, because you had Kurt Busch and Dale Jr. Um, trying to fight it out. And Kurt Busch almost gave it away at Homestead when his tire came off. Little drama.
Yep.
Um, but it's really nice to not be able to have to worry about the elimination. So when your driver's in, you're not nervous every 3 weeks, wondering, okay, if they don't win this weekend, they're not going to make it to the next round. Um, you know, it's almost going to be kind of a self elimination. Once you get a couple 100 points back, you're probably not going to make it up with 3-4 races to go.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get lucky and hit a knockoff win at Martinsville when you're 14th in points
Right.
and you're going to run for a championship. You're just not going to. You're not going to do it.
Yep. Yep. So my question is, who do you think those that normally have made it in on the old playoff system, who do you think won't make it with the new chase system?
I tell you who I think is going to really struggle with it, and of course we're going to talk about our chase picks here in a little bit. But I'm going to tell you who's really going to struggle with it, and I believe that's going to be Joey Logano. Um, I just really Joey has himself has struggled. I think Joey is actually. I think he's getting a little bit slower. I mean, he's just not. He has not been that fast the past several years, and I think he's going to struggle um, to make it. I tell you, I'm also worried about Ross Chastain. Um, yeah, he won the Coca-Cola 600 last year. Should not have won the Coca-Cola 600 last year. That should have been William Byron. But I digress. Um, but that was his only shining moment last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at 12th, 13th, 14th place in points, but you know, he's just not. Um, I kind of worry about him. He's got a rookie teammate. He's got SVG that is going into his second year, and has definitely improved.
Mm-hmm.
But Ross is kind of going to be on an island of his own, because right now he's the senior. Of course, he has been. Well, actually, he was not. Daniel Suarez was the senior statesman of that team. Now it's Ross. Ross is the leader of that team, and they just have not had the speed that they need. So those are really the two that I'm worried about. We're not going to see Austin Cindric is not going to make the playoffs.
No.
He's just not a consistent enough driver. And Kyle Busch is going to struggle
Yep.
to make the chase. Obviously, Austin Dillon, he's not going to have that Richmond home run
Yeah.
to get him in. So I don't think Austin's gonna make it. Um, you know, uh, and I think I mentioned Joey Logano. I think Joey and Josh Berry are gonna swap. I think Josh Berry is going to be really fast this year. Um, he just what a nightmare of a playoffs he had last year.
Yeah.
The first round he finished dead last in all three races.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, what a nightmare for him and that team. I think the Wood brothers are going to come out with something to prove this year.
Yep.
And they're going to prove we didn't make the play just because we made the playoffs off the win last year doesn't mean that we're not a chase contender or we're not going to make the chase. What about you?
No, I agree. I mean, I agree with that. Wood Brothers will come out, I'm sure, fighting. They just celebrated their 75th anniversary with racing, and we know they have the driver that can go out there and I wouldn't just say win, but dominate on the track. He wasn't up front because he got involved with a wreck or something, or just bad luck, which I know happens. And the chase format is going to show that much more than the playoff format would. But no, I would agree. Josh Berry is going to definitely be, I think, is going to be a huge contention. So to answer my own question that I asked you, who's going to make this struggle more? Um, I know he's improved on his ovals, and I'm known to completely be very bad at preseason predictions, but I think SVG is going to be our struggle. I know he's improved on the ovals, but there's way too many other contending drivers on these ovals. I know he's going to shine on the road courses, though. Um, Mostly. We do have the rookie, Connor Zillage, who was also a force on road courses in Xfinity. I know Cup Xfinity, totally different. But Connor already knows most of these tracks, um, if not all of them. So I think SVG is going to be a bit of a struggle. I'm not saying he won't make it, but if he does, I don't think he'll be within the top 10 in points making it. But that's just my opinion. I hate to say it. I like SVG, but that's my answer to my own question. So your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I look for him to improve in points. Like he would have finished, I think, 25th last year without the playoffs. I look for him to be 20, maybe top 20, right at that edge of 20, 21, 22, somewhere there in points this year. Um, and then definitely improve next year. My problem, another problem I had with this is honestly, I think 16 is too much. I think 10 in the trucks is about right. 12 in the Xfinity is a little much. Actually, I think maybe 8 in trucks, 10 in Xfinity, and 10 in Cup, maybe. Um, I think 16 is a little too much. I understand why they did it because there's already contracts in place with sponsors and stuff like that. So they really couldn't just come out and say, "Oh, we're only going to put 10 guys in,"
Yeah.
because then there's going to be some teams that are going to have to go back to their sponsors and be like, "Well, we know we promised you we had a shot at this, but we don't
Yeah.
because we're a top 15 team, but we're not a top 10 team."
Right.
Um, so, but maybe down the road we can go back to the 10. Like I said, with what Mark Martin said, we're kind of going
Backwards.
kind of back to the future, so to speak. Um, and I think that that's really something down the road, maybe that they look like maybe the next TV contract if we make it that far with the system.
Yeah.
That's 6 years down the road. So, um, I'm hoping maybe 6 years when we go to that new TV contract, they're pushing the 36 full season, you know, championship format. Um, So what do you think about the numbers on that?
I would sort of agree. Um, I do think 16 in Cup's a little much. 10 is, I'm 50-50. It's too much, but at the same time, I feel like it's perfect. Xfinity being at, would you say it's also 10, if I remember
No, it's
correctly?
at 12.
It's at 12. Okay.
Yeah, it's 12.
Nah,
Yeah,
Xfinity, I think, should be,
Chuck are 10.
I think, yeah, okay. Yeah. So it does make sense, just because I think this is basically they took the old format playoff, who makes it in, and just kind of because, as you said, with TV deals, which is understandable, not to mess up any like already done, sponsors with drivers and teams and all that. So maybe in the next year or so, because we know sponsors tend to either redo or whatever. Maybe they'll change the numbers, to fewer. I do think the 16 is much for Cup. I don't know what I would drop it down to. I would say 10 or 12 probably would be perfect, in my opinion. So, uh, only thing I can say is we can wait and see. But it does make sense with TV deals mostly, and then sponsorships already being pretty much done for the silly season. Um, it makes sense. So, yeah, I can
Yeah, sure.
agree. So,
So on that note, let's talk about some sponsorship news that has come out in recent days. Xfinity, the former sponsor of the um, No Apps series, the NASCAR O'Reilly's Auto Part series. No Apps is what everybody's going to call it. You know, so when you go to Applebee's and they ask you if you would like an appetizer, you can just say no apps.
that's funny.
But Xfinity is going to be a primary sponsor for Bubba Wallace
Yep.
and Tyler Reddick.
Yep.
And then here's the shocker: Hardee's has come into the sport, back into the sport. It's been a long time since we've seen Hardee's. I think it was like 2012, 2013, something like
It
that.
has been a
Uh,
while.
yeah, with 2311, which means McDonald's is no longer with 2311. Hardee's is also the fast food restaurant, official fast food restaurant of NASCAR, which means McDonald's is no longer the official fast food restaurant of NASCAR. So we're seeing some shift in sponsorship. I'm kind of sad to see McDonald's go. Um, Bubba Wallace actually got them their first race win at Talladega a few years ago. I think it was in 2021. Their first race win since 1994.
Hmm.
So, which we also saw with Chase Elliott breaking the Hooters, getting them their first race win since 1992.
Yeah.
So, um, it's pretty. Man, I hated when Hooters left. Filed for bankruptcy. Obviously, McDonald's is not filing for bankruptcy, but they are out at 2311 and at NASCAR. So, what do you think of that?
Well, it surprised me. I won't lie. I know McDonald's at least been a part of the sport forever, and just to kind of completely drop it's kind of surprising. Hardee's is good though. I like Hardee's. Hardee's isn't my favorite fast food restaurant, but it is one of my tops. I think McDonald's is overrated anyway, so I think it's a good switch. I wish we had more of the fast food sponsors. I know we've seen Burger King on cars, we've seen Wendy's and Arby's. I know we Wendy's and Arby's. I know we've seen recently. But if we, all the fast foods, well, we've seen Sonic too recently, but they were on a very bad driver's car, in my opinion. Gibbs sucks. Anyways, but I think it's good. It's a good change of pace. It's something different. Like I said, Hardee's is good in my opinion. What would be really cool now is for Hardee's to do like a NASCAR themed combo meal or a NASCAR themed kids meal. Because then I'd say shut up and take my money. If it came with like maybe just a special collector's diecast or one of those like fancy NASCAR tin where like they put the meal in the tin or something, kind of like back when McDonald's and Dukes of Hazzard did their thing with the meals. Something cool. I think this is a good setup for them to do something cool like that. If they will, no idea. But it would be cool to see. But yeah, I think Hardy's being is pretty cool in my opinion. So I'm not
For
against
sure.
it.
And Hardy's claim to fame with NASCAR was the Days of Thunder movie.
Yes.
And there is rumor of Days of Thunder 2 coming out. So, hint, hint, wink, wink,
This
possibly.
this could
We
be.
could see the return of Russ Wheeler and the number 18 Hardee's Chevrolet.
Yep. Absolutely. That would
Well, I
be.
guess now it would be a Toyota. They'd have to run, a Gibbs Toyota. But it depended on what team supplied the cars. If Hendrick Motorsports is supplying the cars, guess what? It's going to be a
It's
Chevrolet.
gonna be a Chevy. Yeah. Absolutely. But no, that would be
Uh,
totally
and
awesome.
on, yeah, that would be really cool. And on that note, you mentioned Arby's. Arby's was on another not so great driver's car with the whole Rick Ware Racing Cody Ware car. But they have moved to Junior Motorsports. For me, that's a
Nice.
big W for Arby's, especially because now they're going to be on winning equipment.
Yes.
Um,
Not dead last equipment.
right? Also, a big move, I believe, for Junior Motorsports, partnering with Arby's.
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of a cool announcement how they did it too. Um,
Oh, it was. That was
yeah,
awesome.
it was really cool. I think that's awesome. Big win for Arby's for sure. Going to a championship running, yearly running team. I believe even with the new chase format, they will still be that type of team. They're still the
Oh,
team to
absolutely.
beat, just because of Justin Allgaier and then Raja Karuth now stepping into to pilot the 88 for 95% of the season. I know that schedule came out for him, which was pretty awesome. So no, big win. Love it for Arby's. Love it for Junior Motorsports. I'm not an Arby's fan whatsoever. I'm not a big fan of their food, but might change that just because of who they sponsor now. But no, that was interesting. That one kind of blew me out of the water as well. Not a change I expected.
Right. Well, and I'm not a big Arby's fan, but I will tell you their cheese sticks are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a buffalo chicken sandwich where they basically take a fried chicken patty and dip it in buffalo sauce, and it is to die for. It is awesome.
Sounds like.
So they do have a couple of really good things on their menu. So, and for most of you probably don't know, but I did work at Arby's for a year. Worked at McDonald's for 5.5 years. Never worked at Hardee's. um, but what I like to see is I like to see uh, new sponsors or sponsors returning to the sport, like we see with Arby's. The Arby's came back last year, and now they're really making a huge leap. And Hardy's coming back to the sport. What I don't like to see is what we see with WeatherTech, because WeatherTech is now gone
Yeah.
from Trackhouse, from Junior Motorsports, um, and when you look at Connors Village and you look at SVG last year, WeatherTech won a lot of races.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm
So
shocked about that. I won't. You just came off of second place championship win. But you know, 10 wins. With one driver and five with the other. kind of interesting how they just kind of said, "Nah, we're good. We'll jump out of this."
Yeah, so I mean, and there's no announcements of, you know, if they're staying, whatever's going on. It's like they just disappeared.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, so there's going to be other sponsorship changes and stuff like that, probably throughout the year. We'll talk about those as they come up. But we do have some new faces in some new places
Yeah.
that we need to talk about. I would say the biggest one is Justin Haley out of the 7 car at Spire Motorsports, and Daniel Suarez in.
Yep.
Of course, you talked about Connor Zillage. I really like what they did with the numbers over there. Since Suarez left, they dropped the 99, picked up the 97 for SVG, and put Connor in the 88.
Yep.
Kind of gave SVG his identity back.
Yep.
He 97 was his dad's number. He ran it for many years in the Supercar series. He ran it in the Xfinity series with Colleague Racing. That's his number. And then, of course, Connor with the 88, he just basically moves the 88 up from the Xfinity series. So I'm trying to think, is there anybody else that moved in Cup of significance besides Daniel Suarez and Connor Zillage coming in?
I believe that was it. There really was not that much going on in Cup movement.
Now, rumor has it, in 2026 there are a lot of contracts that are going to be up. So 2026 silly season, probably around May, is really going to ramp up. So that's going to be really interesting to see.
I say right now, Alex Bowman will not be in the 48. End of discussion.
Yeah. I see Alex Bowman moving. I see Kyle Busch moving. I see
Kyle Busch retiring. I hate to say it for some of those Kyle Busch fans, but I see him retiring. I won't lie.
Really?
I think he's kind of done.
Well, I mean, and that's definitely a possibility. I see. Let's see here. I just had it on the tip of my tongue.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Apparently, it threw your train of thought off.
Oh yeah, you're good. I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Allmendinger didn't retire.
Yeah.
At the end of this year.
Honestly, yeah.
I don't know his contract status, so I don't know if he has 5 years left or 2 years left or 1 year left, or whatever. Honestly, it would not surprise me to see Colleague with a whole new team next year. I look for Ty Dillon to move over to Richard Childress Racing, to take the seat either Kyle Busch leaves or Austin Dillon leaves. Austin has really been preparing for a step up into leadership and management of RCR. So there's a very good possibility. I think he said this was the last year on his contract, if I remember correctly. So, obviously Austin Dillon is not going to leave RCR.
No.
So he's either going to re-up or he's going to move into the office. If he moves into the office, that leaves the 3 open, and Ty Dillon will go in the 3 if they're going to keep the 3. Otherwise, I could see him switching back to the 31 and just having the 8 and the 31. Because Childress said that only family, it'll either be Childress family or Earnhardt family, will drive the number 3.
Right.
So it's either Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon, or nobody in the number 3 car.
It's very possible
at least
they may pull it off, because if Ty doesn't want it.
Yeah, and at least until one of Junior's kids gets up where she's old enough to drive.
If that's what they want to do.
I
haven't heard anything about Junior saying something about that. So
Well, they like to drive the race cars or the go karts. So
Okay.
um, I don't see really a lot more people moving around. I know that I believe Tyler Reddick's contract is up, but where's he going to go?
I don't think he'll
That's
leave.
better than 2311.
I think
Um,
he'll get a extension, renewal, whatever they call it.
so and of course, like I said, I don't believe anybody else's. But there's going to be some Xfinity rides open.
Yep.
There's probably going to be some truck rides open.
Yep.
So it's going to be really interesting to see come May who's announced retirement, who's announced that they're leaving, um, stuff like that. So on that note, you mentioned Raja in the 88. He's going to be splitting the season between the 88 of Junior Motorsports and the 32 of Jordan Anderson.
Yep.
You've got Carson Kvapil and Connor Zillage sharing the one
Yep.
at Junior Motorsports, but Carson Kvapil is probably going to be in the nine for a lot of those races that Zillage is in the one car. Um, so, of course, they're going to all three Hendrick or all four Hendrick Motorsports drivers are going to make starts in the 88.
Yep.
Um, they did put
Corey Day in one of them, I believe.
Corey Day in the 17 car um, for the full season. There's been a lot of shakeups in the smaller teams
Yeah.
with Haas Factory Team and Ryan Sieg Racing moving to Chevrolet.
Yes.
Um, the AM Racing team has been sold.
Yes.
Um, and that's going to be interesting. There's not a whole lot of information out there on that team at all. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. Um, Justin Allgaier is rumored to this being the last year of his contract. He said he's retiring when his contract is over. So could this be Justin's last year in the Xfinity series? So silly season of the Xfinity, or well, I'm sorry, excuse me, the No Apps, the O'Reilly series is what we're probably going to end up calling it. Um, so forgive me for saying Xfinity. But silly season in that series is going to really ramp up, probably about May, June, somewhere in there. So, um, what do you think about those changes in that series?
Well, some kind of expected. The AM team being sold, it was not expected. Uh, not from my point of view. Maybe from yours, that's a little more news deep into it all, might have. But apparent from your head shaking, I guess not. So that yeah, that was a little weird. Seeing Haas and Siege Racing going back. Well, not going back. Haas is going back. I don't know about Siege. If he's always
Yeah,
been
they are.
Ford.
They started with Chevy.
Oh, okay, so going back to Chevy, honestly, not a surprise. Especially since they're both teams that started with Chevy. I understand Ford might have came in and be like, "Hey, we'll give you this much more money, run us," and then Chevy finally said, "No more." Knowing Chevy, um, I'm a Chevy fan, so I'm gonna pull for Chevy anyway. So not too much surprising. I would just say that the AM team being sold is really only thing that kind of surprises me. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean the run that they had with Harrison Burton this year, making the playoffs, and just was really performing. When the news came out that they were sold, I was like, "Wait, what? Really?
yeah,
Seriously?"
yeah.
So well, I guess we need to move to the truck series. Lots of movers and shakers in the truck series for sure.
Yes.
Of course, Caden Honeycutt will be in the number 11 that Corey Heim has stepped out of.
Yep.
Um, let's see. Tony Breidinger said that she was returning. She's going to be running the 27 for Rackley War.
Yep.
Um, and they're keeping their lineup. Um, so those are two of the big truck ones. Of course, we've got Dodge coming back into the sport
Yep.
with Brandon Queen running one of those. Justin Haley in one of those. They've got a superstar in one of them. And then the other one is going to be their all-star truck. And man, are they hitting a home run right off the bat,
Yeah.
putting Tony Stewart in that all-star truck.
Yeah. Something I don't think anybody saw coming. Because we kind
No.
of, especially a lot of us that, have watched Tony race in NASCAR, we kind of saw how he left the sport. So him coming back to it is surprising. Awesome to see, though. I think that's going to be sweet. I don't know how well he's going to perform, but seeing his Dodge Ram truck with, welcome to the smoke show on the side of and the rear panel of it is going to be fun and hilarious at the same time. I hope they put that in NASCAR 25 because I will run the heck out of it just for giggles. So definitely a home run.
I'll tell you what I'm really looking forward to about seeing Dodge in the racetrack again is seeing Dodges in my NASCAR collection again.
Yes. Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Uh, we're starting with the Rams in the Truck Series, and they've already mentioned that they want to get back in the O'Reilly Series. They want to get back in the Cup Series. So I am looking forward to that. With that, that's just really awesome. There's also been some other moves. Christian Eckes is returning to Bill McAnally, Helgerman Racing in the 91. Basically, they just swapped his numbers,
Yep.
because he was the 19 when he was with those teams, but Daniel Hemrick's with them. And the big with Breidinger moving over to Chevrolet with Rackley War, that leaves the 5 for Tricon empty. And here we are, 3 weeks from Daytona. But I got to say, they've got the perfect person sitting right there without a ride, full-time ride for 2026. Why not put him in the truck? And you know who I'm talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Corey Heim.
Okay,
I mean,
I was right.
he just won you a championship. Why not you've got an empty truck now.
Yeah.
Put him in the truck.
Yeah.
Let him run.
I would agree.
If you don't want to run him full time, that's fine, but he needs to run the majority of the races.
Yeah, I would agree. He can't piggyback off 2311's fourth entries every now and then. I don't think that's enough for a driver of his talent and caliber. He needs a full time ride or at least more races to participate in, especially after a championship season.
So. For sure. And mentioning that name also takes me back to the Cup Series. Riley Herbst will not be in the Cup Series in 2027. That is Corey's car.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
I think Riley is just keeping that seat warm until his contract runs out, and then Corey's going to get that car.
I agree. Speaking of the Cup Series, actually, never mind. We can wait. We're not done with driver lineups because we still got ARCA. Not that there's much. Actually, we're not even done with the truck. I don't know if you saw this. Well, you probably did because I retweeted it or re-xed it, which is a weird saying, so I'm not saying that ever again. Travis Pastrana is Pastrana, excuse me. I apologize. I'm horrible with names.
He's not a lunch meat.
He's not a lunch meat. Anyways, we'll be driving the number 42 for Nice Motorsports at Daytona. So, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, he's been known to pop in and out from a time or two. So him coming back and running that truck doesn't surprise me. Um, Circle B Diecast has sponsored him in the past. So this isn't his first rodeo. I tell you, um, you talk about that team. Um, the what is the name of that? Nice Motorsports.
Yes.
Uh, think about who else is going to be in the 45 truck for Nice Motorsports for Daytona. Ricky Spinhouse Jr.
Yes, that
is going to
was
be in the truck race at Daytona.
goodbye half the truck field.
Not that they didn't have enough to worry about on their own um, without Ricky, but yeah. Um, Also, Kyle Busch is going to be running some races for Nice Motorsports. Um, I found that interesting. He is no longer affiliated with the Spire Motorsports trucks.
I didn't even know it was happening. I'm just now hearing about this. So that is intriguing. I'm gonna turn my camera. Never mind. My wife said it's fine. She doesn't want to be caught on camera, which is understandable. Anyways, yeah, I did not know that. That's interesting. Um, I really have nothing to say about that, honestly. Except I did not know that. And that's interesting. So that's all I got.
So, I mean, let's just think about this: Ricky Stenhouse, Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch on the same team.
Two of three things, actually, two things, one of two things what I meant, but actually two of two things is going to happen because of the driver lineup. There's going to be some wins, and there's going to be half the fields getting wrecked. You know who is doing what, so I'll just leave it at that. That's all I can say.
But the thing that gets me is you take those three guys. Those three guys have never been friends with each other.
This is
If
a
you
good point.
remember, it wasn't too long ago that Ricky and Kyle Busch were fighting in the infield
Yes.
at the All Star race.
Yes.
So that's going to be an interesting dynamic watching that team operate with those three drivers. Um, and then, of course, you mentioned throwing Travis Pastrana in the mix. Maybe they brought him in as a peacekeeper.
Maybe. I don't know.
So here's the one in the truck series that just floors me.
Yes.
Chris Wright, been known to cause an incident or 10 in a race,
Yes.
is going to be driving a Bill McAnally Hilgerman truck. He's taking over the 81 truck. Um, we've called Cody Ware our weekly scheduled
Caution.
caution tweet.
Yes.
Um, Chris Rice is making Cody Ware and Ricky Stenhouse look like a Kyle Busch and I want to say Dale Earnhardt but it's almost making them look like a Kyle Busch and Dale Earnhardt compared to the way Chris Wright drives.
Yeah. 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 I can agree.
Um, that is the truck signing this offseason that just I was sitting there and was like, not sure what you're thinking. Um, but that ain't it.
I would agree. I would agree. That's yeah. I have no comment, honestly. So
All right. Well, you mentioned Arca, so
I did, and
no, was there some major news in Arca?
not. Well, I don't know how major you want to call it. Nothing specific. Really. Well, actually, it is specific. Nothing for that I've seen for East or just Arca in general. But Arca West picked up a, I wouldn't say new, but a driver, a new driver.
Three-time Arca West winner.
Okay, so definitely not new. But Haley Deegan returns to NASCAR and Arca West. Thoughts on that one?
Um, I'm glad to see it happen. I'm not surprised. Um, well, actually, I am surprised because rumor had her going to the Truck Series. But I think with Christian Eckes, um, kind of filled there's all the spots that they had over there. Um, of course, Chris Wright taking a truck. Um, I don't know how you make that decision. Haley Deegan, Chris Wright. Um, but yeah, I'm glad to see it. You didn't really hear about her in the IndyCar NXT series last year
Yep.
at all.
Nope.
She had a very terrible half season in Xfinity a couple years ago, and I 100% blame that on equipment.
Yep.
That was 100% equipment because when she was in a Haas, well, it was SHR Stuart Haas car back like 3 years ago, she ran top 10 all day. So the equipment definitely, she's a driver that if you put the equipment under her, she is going to be competitive.
Right.
Being with McAnally uh, back in the ARCA West Series where she started with the team that she started with, the 16 car for that team has won many a West championship. So to see her back with this team, not a surprise. To see her in ARCA is a surprise. To see her compete and be a championship contender this year will not be a surprise.
Right. Yeah. I think it's good. She's back over in the NASCAR world, back in the sport. Um, I think it'll be a good refresh, getting back in the sport with a team she's already familiar with, a car she's already familiar with. I think it'll be great. Um, Hopefully, with the silly season, supposedly, that we might see her get bumped up to a good team in I want to say Xfinity, but I would expect trucks or Xfinity. So I think it's good. I think it'll work out well. As you said, championship contender for sure. So it's good news. It's good to see her back in the NASCAR world. Um, we know she's got the talent and the skill. I know the equipment's always kind of been the thing we've talked about multiple times before. So it's good. It's good to have her back.
And for the first time in her career, she is in a pipeline that has room for drivers.
Yep.
Um, that has teams to put drivers in. With Toyota, she kind of ran out. She kind of, she got to, um, she was basically going to be stuck in the ARCA series with Toyota.
Yep.
With Ford, she was able to make it to the Xfinity Series team, but she was in, bottom tier equipment with Ford. Now she's with Chevrolet. Chevrolet has top equipment in the ARCA series. They have top equipment in the Truck series, top equipment in the Xfinity series. Doors that can be opened for her if she goes out and her talent is able, she's able to show her talent because I believe she's a very talented driver.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she'll be able to show her talent and move up the ranks. You used the right word when you said reset. I think this is a good chance for her to completely reset her career. Um, she wasn't too proud to go back to the bottom and take a seat again at the learning table. And I look for her to progress over the next. I don't want to rush her. But I think that was part of the problem. I think Ford rushed her.
Yep.
And when they did rush her, they did not put her in top equipment. Um, and you could say, well, the team that she was with in the Truck Series won the championship. With ThorSport, right?
Yep.
Okay, but she wasn't getting the ThorSport quality championship trucks. She
Right.
was getting their leftovers. Obviously, the same thing in the Xfinity Series. That was a brand new team in the Xfinity Series. So, only competing in their second year. So I'm glad to see it.
Yep.
And I hope that Chevrolet is able to tap into her talent and help her to rise eventually to the Cup Series. NASCAR needs a personality like hers.
Right.
Um, so I would love to see her be able to succeed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, pretty sure that's it for lineups. Regardless of the few we mentioned, just special appearances at Daytona for trucks. I wanted to jump back to Cup for the open cars that are expected. So I'll save the best for last, of course. It was announced uh, RFK, Roush Fenway Kozlowski Racing, is running a fourth car with the 99 being driven by Corey LaJoie. So understandable. BJ McLeod, I think I said that right. In the seven
McLeod.
McLeod, excuse me. I told you I'm bad with names. With Live Fast is returning with the 78. I think that's awesome. A lot of respect. I know just amongst the drivers with him in the garage. With the way he races, honestly, I would be more than happy to see him win Daytona. He's been up front multiple times, so I know it's possible, especially with the way these next gen cars drive. Corey Heim with the number 67 with 2311. I believe it's Casey Mears and the 66 with Garage 66. Anthony Alfredo in the 62 with Beard Motorsports. JJ Yelly, I don't know. I don't know.
Haley.
There,
You're right.
okay. I was right the first time. Shocking. In the 44, I don't know what NY stands for.
New York Racing.
All right, New York Racing. Didn't know that was a thing. And then, of course, the I should have started with this. Well, actually, we'll get to that one in a minute because he's already technically locked in whether he qualifies or not. But the last open car, which we've seen the paint score, wow, paint scheme officially released a week ago. The number 40 Junior Motorsports attempting the Daytona 500 once again. Traveler Whiskey on board once again with Justin Allgaier. So I saw your thoughts on
Yeah.
some of it.
A lot of open cars. Um, I would like to see NASCAR um, go back to a 43 car field
Yes.
just for Daytona. You don't have to do it for everybody else. Let's just do it just for Daytona. Um, I think that would be good. I don't see that happening, but um, I like to see a lot of open cars come to Daytona. Now, we used to get 60, 65, sometimes 70 cars show up at Daytona, and everybody had to make the race. Obviously, with the 36 charter cars being locked in, that's not the case. That's why I would like to see uh, the grid move back to 43 starters for Daytona. Um, but I am so excited to see Junior Motorsports back for another Daytona 500. The paint scheme is it's just to me the paint scheme is with working within the parameters that they have to work within. The paint scheme is perfect.
Yes.
The guy that designed it said he slid the number back as far as NASCAR would allow. And they made their own contingency decals for the car. And of course, if you listen to the Dale Jr. download, he talks a lot about contingency decals on the cars. He's a big fan, always has been. He thinks that's one of the cool parts of a race car. Um, so they did the best they could with what they had, and I think they did an awesome job. It is a 100% improvement over last year's car, and last year's car was awesome. So excited to see this. I would like to see Justin. Obviously, we want him to qualify. I would like to see him, get one of those top two positions on pole day, so that he doesn't have to worry about whether he's going to make the show or not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're obviously going to have the speed to make the show. So um, I would like to see Justin make the show, of course, and not have the scrapes and missing fenders and damage that he had in Daytona 500 last year. Um, so yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. I also like that Lionel is coming out with a 87 Monte Carlo diecast with the paint
78.
scheme. Excuse me, 78. My numbers are backwards.
Yeah.
Either which way, I love the classics. I love the square body race cars. Don't ask me why, I just do. So that is awesome. I can't wait to actually see the car because I know it's just, you know, animated, generated images, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, awesome to see Junior Motorsports running at it again. I think with already this being the second round, I think they will qualify straight up off qualifying. Much cleaner race car as well. Um, just because they have they have last year experience. They kind of know what to expect this time. Not saying that Junior himself didn't know what to expect, but I think the team in general will know what just all in all. So be awesome to see it. I'm confident he'll make it in. Um, would love to see him win the thing. That would be crazy. Um, absolutely crazy, and I'm all for it. So no, it's going to be awesome to see the 40 and Junior Motorsports trying again, especially after such a strong finish last year, even with the missing fenders, finishing ninth, so in the top 10. The only other car that we didn't mention that isn't in the normal Cup roster, Jimmy Johnson. Legacy got the open exemption provisional. So Jimmy Johnson's car got that with the number 84 of Legacy. So Jimmy Johnson is already locked in as the open car. And then as soon as I found
41st car.
as soon as I found this tweet, the first comment or reply I see says, "Just bring back 43 Carfield." So we're not the only ones.
And that was not me, by the way.
Yeah, it was not you. So we're not the only ones. So
Yeah. So, and before we get to our championship picks, I do want to take a moment and now talk about a sad thing that came out from NASCAR today, but expected. NASCAR is no longer going to do Throwback Weekend at Darlington in the spring
yeah,
anymore. a lot of teams had stopped participating in that. Of course, my opinion is they stopped participating in that because sponsors stopped participating in that because NASCAR wanted the number moved, or well, the Race Team Alliance wanted the number moved, and the paint schemes just didn't look right. So um, the sponsors were like, well, you know what? If we can't run the paint scheme like the paint scheme needs to be run, we're just not going to do it. We'll just run our normal scheme. And, you know, that's why that went down. Um, but they're not going to require it. Darlington is still going to celebrate the history of the sport, the history of the track. They're still going to do parades and have all that fun stuff with the NASCAR alumni and stuff like that. So disappointed to see it officially come to an end. I kind of think it had run its course,
Yeah.
but I think the number placement was the final nail in the coffin. I think it could still be an awesome thing. But and I do want to mention, talking about throwbacks, did you see the Carolina car parts cars for all the teams for Junior Motorsports?
I did. I did. That is
That is
awesome.
a Sam Bass drawing that he drew of the original Good Ranch car that they were going to do for Dale Earnhardt before they settled in on the black number 3.
Mhm.
So I think it's really cool that Dale and Kelly got together with Carolina Car Parts and was able to get this scheme approved for all 3 of their cars that's going to run that scheme. So I think it looks really cool. I'm still debating whether I want to get a diecast of Justin Allgaier's car. Um, Man, I wish Junior Motorsports ran the number 3 in the Xfinity Series because,
Uh,
man, wouldn't that be an awesome?
that would be
Um,
the best, honestly. But if not, you could go with the one because Junior drove the one um, as
yeah,
well,
he did for one race.
or the eight, since the eight is now the junior, the DEI number eight
Yeah,
as
but
well.
was that was the 8 one of the cars? I thought it was just the 1, the 7, and the 9.
It might have just been the one, seven, and nine, but the nine isn't full time, so I don't. We'll look more into this off recording. We'll figure
So,
it
but
out.
yeah, I thought it was a really cool throwback to Sam Bass and Dale Senior. So
Yeah,
I think that was pretty cool.
it is awesome. I love it. Love seeing old schemes kind of refreshed and thrown in um, a regular mixture. So, especially with the Darlington throwbacks going away, I think this is a good replacer. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, now we get to the fun stuff. Our Chase Cup, because we're just going to do Cup because it would be way too much to do all 3 series. Our Chase Cup picks.
Okay.
You got your roster pulled up?
Nope. But I can. So
Oh,
while I do that,
pull you up a roster so you know who you're going to pick.
are we?
Um,
Oh, my NASCAR
and
app.
I will give you my picks.
Okay.
Um, I'm taking Christopher Bell,
Okay.
Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe. Uh, Obviously, um, JGR powerhouse, right? Um, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. So that's 6. Um, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece. That's 9. Um, Ryan Blaney is 10. Um, Ross Chastain, 11. Kyle Busch, 12. Joey Logano, 13. Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace is 15. Now, I'm going to blow your socks off because my 16th pick, the person that I think is going to make the chase, is going to be somebody that's going to shock you. I believe in his rookie season, Connor Zilic will make the chase. He's too good on road courses, and he's too good on ovals not to be able to get in this car and go out and run top 15, top 20 every week, everywhere.
Well, I'll say this much: my socks are still on my feet. Um, with him being a rookie in Cup, it is going on a limb. I will admit to that, but I also would have him in my picks. So I think it's a good pick. I think it's a great pick. I think he will be consistent. Not right off the bat, but give him a few races. I say 4 max. He'll be where he needs to be to make the chase. So I agree. I agree with that 100%. So
See, I struggled more with picking Joey Logano to make the playoff, to make the chase, than I did Connor Zilic. And it was a toss up with me between Joey Logano and Josh Berry. I just think that one of those two will make it, but they're going to barely make it, if you know what I mean. Like they're
yeah,
going to be 16th in points. It's going to be Joey Logano or Josh Berry, but I had to go with Logano, um, just because he is a Penske direct car. He's not a satellite team for Penske like Wood Brothers Racing is. He's an in-house, and Penske's going to give their drivers the equipment before they give it to Josh Berry.
yeah, yeah. I would agree. No, I completely understand. Um, so I'm only going to switch out 2 drivers of your 16. So 14 of mine are staying the same. The 2 of yours I'm going to switch out. It's going to be, as you said, Joey Logano, that you were on the fence with, and Brad Keselowski, which I hate to admit. Now, for the 2 I'm going to pick to take their spots. Okay, the first one, again, you kind of said is a 50-50. I think it's going to be Josh Berry taking Joey Logano's spot. I agree. He's going to be right there, barely making it in, 15th, 16th, maybe 14th. Barely making it in, but I think he's going to make it. I think Joey's just not going to have it this year. Replacing Brad, in my opinion. This one I think is going to shock you because he had a very interesting, dramatic season. Should have won the Coke 600 if it weren't for William Byron supposing to win. But engine blowing up in his face at the start of the final stage, which kind of killed us. I'm going with Carson Hocevar. I think the kid's going to come out with rockets straight off the bat. Might make some people mad again. I 100% believe it.
I expect that.
I expect it. He's a young hothead with a lead foot. But I think he is going to be the guy to make it in Brad's place. I hate to take Brad out of the picture. I would love to see Brad make it. Absolutely. I just think there's too much young talent kind of above him that could overdo it. Plus, I know right now he is in recovery mode. Something we forgot to mention. Corey LaJoie will pilot the number 6 for the Clash, as Keselowski's main goal is to be ready for the 500.
That's one of the reasons why I picked Brad, because last time Brad broke a bone, he broke his ankle, and he went out the very next week and won the race. Um, so Brad is, but also I have to look at Brad's work last year. I mean, he was 35th in points, or like 31st in points after the first 10 races, and the next 16 races he got up to 19th in points. Um, but the season, the first 4 or 5 races were just a disaster for Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I like your pick of Hocevar, and I would actually put Hocevar in above Josh Berry. I would have kept Brad in and uh,
Logano out.
kicked Logano out because I think Brad, what he did last year in the 16 race, and then he almost won at Phoenix. He coming out of turn 2 or coming out of turn 4, coming to the start finish line was when Ryan Blaney passed him.
Yeah.
So I think Brad is in the twilight of his career. Coming towards, I think he's got another 4 years left. But I really think with what he did last year, and then coming out with the motivation of hurting himself again.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see Brad come out and win the Daytona 500. It wouldn't shock me in the least little bit. So I can't. I see what you're getting at. Carson is definitely going to ruffle some feathers this year.
Oh yeah.
And I believe he's going to win a race this year. Um, if he doesn't make the top 16 for the chase, he will definitely be like 17th, 18th in
He'll
points,
be right there.
for
Yeah.
sure. So good picks, though. I mean, um, but of course, as we've talked about, even when with with the playoff format, we always see this car was supposed to bring the smaller teams up to compete against the bigger teams, and the first couple years it might have, but now the bigger teams have figured it out, um, and the cream rises to the top. So you having the same 14 as I did is not a shocker.
Nope.
Probably most people will have the same 14 that we did,
Yeah.
at least the same 12. They might be kind of questionable on Kyle Busch making it, but um, and I don't know that's
That's really the only one I
we're
would.
gonna see a lot of the same brackets this year.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. So yeah.
But
Good
I
picks.
will notice that neither one of us picked Ty Gibbs,
I never will.
and neither one of us picked Alex Bow.
I think that one's explainable. Actually, they're both kind of explainable, but as I said with Ty Gibbs, I never will. I think that's just a waste of equipment. Sorry to you Ty Gibbs fans. That's just my personal opinion. After seeing him the last, what is this, 2 years in Cup, I, no thanks. He's matured, yes. He's not going to go anywhere, though. Sorry.
Yeah, he's matured, but he is not a Cup Series driver, caliber driver. I mean, he could make a career in the Xfinity Series,
Absolutely.
but he's not a Cup. He's not a Cup Series driver for sure. I have to agree with that.
Oh. Yeah, that's that. So I don't have anything else after scrolling
No,
through.
I think we've covered.
That I believe that is
I think
everything.
we've covered the news.
So just for a quick giggle, let's do a Daytona 500 winner pick, and then we can wrap it up. Unless you find something we missed.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going out on a limb. It has never happened. 3 times in a row. My guy, number 24, William Byron, will be the first person in NASCAR history to win 3 straight Daytona 500s?
I should have seen that coming, honestly. Knowing you, uh, understandable. I would pick him as a top pick. Yes.
Which probably means he's going to be racked and upside down on lap 3, since I picked him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. My pick is going to be kind of an oddball, but also not really. I think it's going to be Ryan Preece as my pick. We've seen him up front in a lot of these big drafting tracks.
We've also seen him upside down on
We
these big drafting
have
tracks.
seen him upside down. He is taking quite a few tumbles. I think this year he's going to keep all wheels good years on the on the track, and come around for the checkered flag. So that is my pick. So
Cool. Well, I'm going to make another couple bold picks for the season, just the season overall. Ryan Sieg will win his first O'Reilly Auto Parts Series win
okay,
in the 39 car. And Dodge, or Ram, sorry, it's not Dodge, it's Ram. Ram will win at least 3 races in 2026.
yes, absolutely, I agree with
I'm
that
not
one.
going to say which drivers are going to win, but I see them winning at least 3 races in 2026.
Oh, I agree.
And they will put one of their trucks. Actually, I'm going to say they're going to put 2 of their trucks. I think that Brandon Queen and will make the chase in the Truck Series for Ram.
All right, I'm all for it. Honestly, I like it. I like it. Cool. That's all I can say.
Well, I might as well make an ARCA prediction too. Haley Deegan will also win a race in the ARCA Series. One
Ah,
race. I'm not going to call more than that. Uh, and she'll be. I say she'll be top 5 in the championship at the end of the season.
agreed. Agreed. So, all right. Well,
So yeah, guys, we've got a new season. 2026 season is coming up. We got the Clash coming up here a week from this Sunday, um, which couldn't have happened at a worse time. Just to be perfectly honest with you, because um, this weekend, where I live, is expecting Snowmageddon 2026, where we are predicted to get 6 to 10 inches of sleet, freezing rain, and snow. I guess it's okay because the Rolex 24 is this weekend, so I'll be stuck inside. So I could just put it on Peacock and let it play.
yep.
Um, but I would have much rather been stuck inside for the Clash next weekend. But we got the Clash coming up, followed by Daytona in 2 weeks on Valentine's Day weekend.
Ooh.
Everybody grab your significant other, take them out Saturday night after the O'Reilly's race is over with. And That way you've got Daytona. But I'm looking forward to the 2026 season. I believe it's going to be exciting. This is the first season in a while where I have actually looked forward to the final 10 races of the year,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the return of the chase for the Cup. Um, So also looking forward to this is probably going to delay NASCAR 26 console game because now they got to go in and redo all the physics and the graphics and um, the point system and all that to incorporate the chase. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Um,
Yeah.
it gives them a little more time to also work on the physics and the graphics of the cars and the trucks with Ram coming in. Um, but I am excited for this season coming up. I'm also excited to see how O'Reilly's Auto Parts comes in and promotes their series because Nationwide, or well, the Bush, Anheuser-Busch did an awesome job when it was the Bush series. Nationwide did an awesome job with Nationwide, and Xfinity took what Nationwide and what Bush had done and just raised it to a whole new level. So I'm excited to see what the O'Reilly's Auto Parts group does with that series as well. So lots to look forward to. I hope fans come back. I would like to see some more sellout crowds and to see ratings start going in the right direction again.
Hmm. And I believe we have made a few of the right direction choices to get there. Yeah, definitely exciting season coming up, especially with the new format. Um, yeah, it's going to be awesome. I calling it now. It's going to be a really, really good, exciting season. I'm sure there's going to be some winning upsets for personal favorites, but it'll be an awesome season. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the chase actually, just itself, especially with it ending at Homestead this time. I think that is awesome. I'm also looking forward to the return to Chicagoland. That is back on the schedule.
Yes,
I love Chicagoland. I've run it a couple times on
yes.
iRacing. It is a great track. I love it. And then I think I know I'm sure there's quite a few mixed reviews, but I like the San Diego Naval Base road course idea. I think that's going to be awesome. It's going to be interesting to see.
On 4th of July weekend.
Even better. So that I think that's going to be pretty sick to see. I think that's going to be a great race as well. I do believe it's going to be a one and done. But I love the reasoning for it to celebrate the Navy's 250-year anniversary. It's a great tribute. We know NASCAR's always backed up military, no matter the branch. So I love the idea. I'm all for it. I think it's going to be an awesome race. I know the layout came out a while ago, so yeah, a lot of big things to look forward to. Just track wise, chase format, you know, not much difference in driver lineups, but enough to get excited about. Um, so it's going to be great. Ready to rock and roll. Clashes on the 1st, 500 on the 14th. Let's get it. Time for the green flag to drop.
Oh, and one piece of news that we did fail to mention that was actually a big deal is Steve Phelps is no longer with NASCAR.
Oh yes.
As commissioner, he has stepped down. Um, that is good. Steve O'Donnell also needs to go, in my opinion. They need a whole new leadership group. But the text messages that we discussed quite a bit in our trial recap um, show really kind of did him in. There was really no coming back from the things that he said about Richard Childress and some other things that came out from that. So that is a big deal. I think that's a win for the fans. It seemed like the garage wasn't too happy about it. The majority of the garage, but when you go and you look at the things that he said specifically about Richard Childress, and then also calling the fans, saying the fans couldn't read. That's just not a good
Does
look.
does not look good. No.
So that's a change, a positive change in my opinion for NASCAR.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, oh,
So with the new season upon us, um, podcasts are going to start coming out, preview shows, stuff like that. Um, So check out our favorites, the Scene Vault with Rick Houston and Steve Wade, Door Bumper Clear with Freddie Kraft and Tommy Baldwin, Dale Jr. Download, Actions Detrimental with Denny Hamlin, which we don't know with everything that Denny went through this year, this offseason. Don't know if that's going to be returning. I would assume that it would, but there's been no formal announcements on um, Actions Detrimental coming back. If it does not, if Denny decides to take a year off from the podcast, completely understandable.
Absolutely.
With what he's been through in the off season, he does need to do at least one episode where he talks about the trial.
Yes, that would be
um,
awesome.
the teardown with Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi, happy hour Kevin Harvick, and then of course follow all of our favorites on X with Bob Pockrass, Matt Weaver, all the guys we've already mentioned, Couch Racer, Brock Beard. Follow him on X and on YouTube. Also want to give a shout out to NASCAR Man on X and on YouTube. They just did it. Him and Brock Beard get together and they do a lot of work together. And they just released an awesome documentary um, documenting the career of Sterling Marlin on YouTube. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all need to go check out that production. I watched it yesterday. It's great. Um, and then, of course, our favorite diecast distributor in Circle B Diecast for all of your diecast needs. Of course, they don't offer the team exclusives, but you can get your Justin Allgaier Traveler Whiskey dual autographed from Circle B Diecast. You can get the historic Fantasy Traveler Whiskey car autographed by just Justin through Circle B Diecast. And any of your 2025, 2026 diecast needs, they've got it. Go check them out.
Absolutely. And of course, as always, we've got the sponsors of the channel. It has been a minute. Let me pull up everybody. I don't want to get anything wrong. I do also want to mention. Wow, my notes are all over the place for some reason. There it is. Apologies. I do want to mention a new partner has joined the channel. You've got, I know it's backwards, Poggers Energy Blend. It is good. As you can see, I've been drinking it all episode. It's great energy. You get 60 servings per tub. They also have hydration and sleep mixes. Neither I've tried yet, but check them out and use code SterlingRider for 10% off at checkout. Welcome aboard, Poggers, and welcome to the channel. We appreciate you. I know they're excited to be with me. They love the Poggers Next Gen Cup Series paint scheme I have for iRacing. So they're glad to have you. Of course, and they were very considerate, as I did mention. I was with an energy company already, and they said that is completely fine. So, of course, you can also check out Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. Same code, SterlingRider for 10% off at checkout with them. They also have your energy mixes and hydration mixes as well. And they just came out with new shaker cups with graffiti logo, which actually looks pretty cool in my opinion. So check them out as well. You also got Rankest Rope Ranch wear, as you see on my hat here, for your Western and 80s style mix of clothing. Silver Duke 01, 15% off with them. And of course, you've got Undrdog Athletix, UDX, your faith-based athletic apparel for any sport you may play. They've got it all now. So you can use code SterlingRider01 for 15% off with them. And then, of course, you've got Follow Him Apparel, also faith-based regular apparel. as well for code SterlingRider, 15% off with them as well. Of course, all our links and the discount codes will be in the description down below, along with all the podcast and X links as well that we have mentioned too. So also check out Fearless Broadcasting. That is where the official broadcast for the USORA, United States Online Racing Association, iRacing League races are broadcast. There is cup races on Monday, and there's supposed to be truck races on Tuesday. Have to say, I'm sorry. It doesn't seem like they will be broadcasting the truck races just due to broadcasting staff needs. Monday cup race will always be broadcasted though, so look forward to that as well. I always stream my POV of the truck races on YouTube anyway, so that'll be on the channel, so you won't miss out any of the action. But check out them for official broadcasting. Thank you guys for letting me join y'all. It's been a blast so far, and yeah, that is all of my shout outs. So any other final words?
I'm just looking forward to a great 2026 season. We get cars on the track in a week, and I'm excited.
Absolutely. I'm so ready for it, especially since I'm not.
My championship pick.
Okay, fair enough. I'll wait to tell you mine. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm ready for it. Ready for the cars back on the track, especially since my NFL team got eliminated from the playoffs. Not that I'm big in an NFL. I was just watching. I literally hadn't watched a football game till the playoffs happened, and then I watched 2 games, which.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd pull it off.
I know it was such a good. It was such a crazy game, especially there right before we ended up going into overtime. It was the most craziest throw by Williams. We're Bears fans. Caleb Williams, future franchise all-star. That's all I'm gonna say. But other than that,
he went from zero to hero to zero.
Yeah.
All in a matter of 10 minutes.
Yeah. But no. Anyways, yeah, cars back on the track. We're ready for it. So I guess until the next episode, we'll be covering cars back on the track. Again, I'm SterlingRider. This is Duke Rider. You just listened in to Round the Track with the Riders NASCAR podcast. We appreciate you for listening. We will see you in the next episode. So we'll sign off now. So be bold, share Jesus, and ride on.